I'm starting to think Thursday night football is not a great idea anymore. Welcome back to the Fantasy Funday podcast, everybody. My name is Sam Battaglia, your host. This is the Week 3 Stardom Situm Show. Let's get after it. So Thursday night football came and went this week, and so did the number one fantasy football player, Christian McCaffrey. He's injured, hamstring. He played a football game about 96 hours after he played a football game. You can't really directly relate the two, but these guys beat each other up so bad every Sunday. They need some rest. I don't like Thursday night football anymore, I don't think. As a fan, number one, out here in Los Angeles on the West Coast, it's almost in the middle of your day. At 5 o'clock on Thursdays, my phone always starts beeping, telling me there's a game on, and I am clearly the biggest NFL fan, and I forget there's a game on Thursdays. So I think the NFL... the players shouldn't, in their next collective bargaining, get rid of this Thursday night game. They gave them 17 regular season games. We all know preseason games are glorified tryouts that they can sell beer at, basically. But I don't like this Thursday night stuff anymore. I think it's bad for the game. I think it's bad for the teams. I think it's bad for the players' health. And ultimately, that's all that matters. So let's see what happens with this Thursday night stuff. But it's not even Sunday, and we already lost the number one fantasy player, Christian McCaffrey. All right, taking a peek here. This is a big week for handcuffs. McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard. There's some talk about Dalvin Cook not practicing this week. I hope you have Alexander Mattison. Definitely make some room on your roster for your top-tier players' handcuffs, as this is the time, as we can see, to go out and get them. And continue watching for bad cuts next week. We'll talk about this on the waiver wire show for Week 4. Already Week 4 next week somehow. There's going to be some bad cuts, and take advantage of those scared owners. And the injury list this week on the NFL, looks like Cedars-Sinai's emergency room of a who's who after a Motley Crue concert at the Rainbow Room in the 80s. I don't know what's going on here. But Dalvin Cook, we talked about him. He is questionable. Play Alexander Mattison. DeAndre Hopkins, he's got three other studs on his team, Christian Kirk, A.J. Green, and Rondale Moore, but DeAndre Hopkins a little bit banged up, his ribs, keep an eye on him. Carson Wentz, again, 2 sprained ankles, not sure how he can do anything, nonetheless play football. Daryl Henderson, tough game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. He is going to be backed up by Sony Michel and maybe Jake We Want the Funk for the Rams with Daryl Henderson's iffy. DeAndre Swift always seems like he's on the injury report. He'd probably play, but he's always on the injury report. But upgrade Jamal Williams if DeAndre Swift doesn't play, but I think he will. Josh Jacobs, as advertised this week, is out. Kenyon Drake's going to carry the load at home against Miami. Elijah Mitchell, last week's dart throw for everybody with all their fantasy football waiver wire spots and money. He's big-time questionable this weekend. Who knows who San Francisco is going to have running for him? Could be Jock Patrick. That'd be real exciting. T. Higgins. T. Higgins, one of the three-headed monster in Cincy. He's banged up. The other two should eat. Deontay Johnson for the Steelers, another three-headed monster wide receiving crew. He's out. The other two, Claypool and Smith-Schuster, should do well. And my guy, AB, we know he's out. Hopefully he gets well very soon and is back with his team. All right, this weekend there's going to be some exciting games at the 1 o'clocks. You're going to want to play players in these games by default when you're debating between players from other games, in my opinion. KC hosting the Chargers, the LAC. Again, looks like the Clippers, but it's the Chargers. Kansas City is going to have a very high-scoring game with the Chargers this weekend. The New York Giants 0-2 hosting the 0-2 Atlanta Falcons. I really like this game for fantasy football purposes. I think you play everybody on both offenses and, of course, neither defense. I like the Indianapolis-Tennessee game. I think it should be interesting from a fantasy perspective. There could be some surprises in that game, and it could be pretty high scoring. The Seattle at Minnesota. I love this game for fantasy purposes. No matter what running back starts for Minnesota, it's going to be a great fantasy game. That's a 10 a.m., 1 p.m. West Coast game, 1 p.m., 4 p.m. East Coast game. Tampa Bay at the Rams tomorrow. That is the game of the week. Undoubtedly, this could be a big preview of the NFC Championship game. Not sure how much I love this game for fantasy purposes, but as a football fan, this is definitely a game to watch. And then, of course, the Sunday night and Monday night games, Green Bay at San Francisco. Could be a lot of fireworks in that game. Could be interesting. And then this is the game of the week. It's maybe the second game of the week behind the KC Chargers game. Philly at Dallas on Monday night. I'd probably say 25 to 30% of all fantasy leagues will be figured out this weekend when that game ends. So we will see what happens, but those should be some really fun games to watch. All right, moving on to the top 25 quarterbacks. Number 1, Lamar, I am not sorry, Miss Jackson is playing the Detroit Lions tomorrow in Detroit. He could get a gold jacket tomorrow. He could have 20 fantasy points in the first quarter against them. Who knows? But Lamar Jackson, definitely the number 1 quarterback for the weekend. Jalen Hurts, my number 2 quarterback. I love him. Second-year player, playing under the lights in Dallas on Monday night. Let the stars shine. I think the whole country is going to know who Jalen Hurts is after Monday night. Third quarterback, Kyler Murray. He is playing Jacksonville at Jacksonville. I don't think I have to say much past that. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. I already talked about this game, hosting the Chargers. Should be a high-scoring affair. Number 5, also talked about this game, Daniel Jones versus Atlanta. I think he's going to get a touchdown scrambling by default and maybe a couple throwing. I think he's going to have a nice game tomorrow, Daniel Jones. Number 6, moved way up on my list from last week. His matchup is just too tantalizing. He's playing at KC, Justin Herbert for the Chargers. Number 7, my guy Russell Wilson at Minnesota. Should be a great game for fantasy purposes. Number 8, Josh Allen hosting the Washington football team. They had a really nice get-right statement game last week, pounding Miami 35-0 on the road. Now they're going home against Washington, who's a little bit depleted. Josh Allen should have a nice game tomorrow. Number 9, Dak Prescott. Again, Monday nighter. Let the stars shine. I could have easily moved Dak up to number 3, but I'll just keep him at number 9 for sport. But he's going to do great this weekend. Number 10, my dude, Tom Brady. Greatest of all time, of course. He is, I'm going to start him in every league I have him, but it's going to be a tough game, I think, against the Rams. I think that's more of a football game to watch than a fantasy football game. Number 11, Aaron Rodgers, Sunday night, coming off a huge game, obviously, against Detroit, but San Francisco at home is not the Lions when you're at home. So playing San Francisco on the road is not the Lions when you're at home. So Aaron Rodgers, number 11. Number 12, Kirk Cousins. I think the Minnesota is going to have to keep up with Seattle through the air. So I like Kirk Cousins as number 12 quarterback. Number 13, my sleeper real-life MVP pick, as you know, Matt Stafford. I think it's going to be a great football game, just not a terrific fantasy game. Number 14, another Matt Ryan. Matty Ice, as they like to call him, at the Giants. I think this is a get-right game for the whole Falcons offense. Numbers 15 and 16 are playing each other, Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Burrow. This is in Pittsburgh. Tough division rival. It's usually, big brother Pittsburgh beating up on little brother Cincy. We'll see what happens. I mean, Las Vegas went into Pittsburgh last week and beat them. If Cincy somehow goes in there tomorrow and beats them, boy, Pittsburgh's their heads are gonna be spinning. So it should be a good game though. Numbers 15 and 16, Big Ben and Joe Burrow. Number 17, big sleeper for the weekend, Teddy Bridgewater at home against the Jets. I don't have to say anything else. He's playing the Jets. Number 18, kudos to the Chicago Bears. I don't know if this is by purpose, design, or mistake. Any which way, I'll take it. Justin Fields is starting against Cleveland, which puts him at my 18th ranked quarterback for the week. Even though it's a tough matchup, I still like him a lot. Number 19, been very, very hot, Derek Carr, playing at home in Las Vegas against the Miami Dolphins. The streak should continue. He should keep going. Number 20, Jimmy Garoppolo, playing Green Bay at home Sunday night. Let the stars shine. Number 21, Ryan Tannehill. I like Derrick Henry protecting him. I love his wide receivers, so I'm going to have him as a 21st ranked quarterback. Number 22, Mac Jones. He's a rookie, a Belichick rookie quarterback. You know I'm big on that. He's playing against New Orleans in New England. Could be some weather up there, but I like Mac Jones. Number 23, Jameis Winston, playing against Mac Jones' team up in New England. He went from 5 touchdowns to, 1 last week or 0 or something, but I saw him get cut in a bunch of leagues. But Jameis Winston, the 23rd ranked quarterback. Number 24, he would be a little higher on this list, Baker Mayfield. A little bit banged up, so I'm just going to keep him at 24. He's playing at home against Chicago. And number 25, my guy, rookie, Trevor Lawrence. He threw a touchdown last week, so he's going to stay as my 25th quarterback as earlier promised. All right, moving on to the top 40 running backs. Number 1 running back of the week, especially in PPR, Austin Ekeler, playing at the Kansas City Chiefs. Needless to say, this is going to be an up-and-down game. The Chargers are going to have to keep up with the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are going to have to keep up with the Chargers given how bad the Chiefs' defense is. So Austin Ekeler should get it all over the place tomorrow. Number 2 guy, I'm stepping out here for him, Miles Sanders, Monday night against Dallas. Once again, let the stars shine. Miles Sanders is due for a big game, and I think he's going to have it this Monday. Number 3, the aforementioned in the injury report, Dalvin Cook. I'll keep Dalvin at number 3 because he's playing Seattle after what Derrick Henry did to them. But if Dalvin doesn't go, I'll put Alexander Madison, and I have no issue at number 3 this week, his backup. Number 4, Monday night game, Ezekiel Elliott, Big Zeke. He's been a little bit better, but he's still due for a big breakout game. I think it's going to be a big fantasy game on Monday night for both teams, and I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to do really good when the lights come on Monday night. Number 5, Big Derrick Henry. Disrespected him last week. Maybe disrespecting him this week at number 5 versus Indy, but Derrick Henry. Number 6, Naji Harris. I don't think there's a quarterback, maybe McCaffrey, that has a higher usage rate, but Naji Harris takes all the snaps. I don't think McCaffrey takes all the snaps. So Naji Harris, number 6, high usage against Cincy. Andy's a stud. Number 7, people are starting to come around here. Saquon Barkley. This is his get-right game for the year to start things off finally. They could unleash him, 20 or so touches hopefully, versus Atlanta. Number 8, my guy, Mike Davis, my big sleeper for the year, has yet to prove me right. I think this is the game on both sides of that ball, offensive ball for that matter, Atlanta and the Giants. Mike Davis is going to eat against the Giants tomorrow on the road. Number 9, Aaron Jones, Mr. 4 touchdowns last Monday night. Congratulations for that again. But you're not playing the Lions at home. You're playing San Francisco on the road, so it's going to be a tough game, but you could do okay. Number 10, this guy can always be number 1, but I don't think this week, Alvin Kamara. I think it's going to be a tough game in New England tomorrow for New Orleans, but Kamara's too good to have out of the top 10. Number 11, Tyson Williams. I love Tyson Williams. He's playing the Lions. This could be the rookie's big breakout. I mean, he's had a couple hors d'oeuvres this year, but he could be in for a full course 5-course meal tomorrow against the Lions. Next guy on the list, Big Joe Mixon. I don't respect him enough. I'm starting to, playing at Pittsburgh. Number 13, Nick Chubb versus Chicago. Nick Chubb's a man. He could be higher on this list. He's got Kareem Hunt behind him, but I'm going to keep Nick Chubb at 13 this week. Number 14, he's jumped up a lot. Melvin Gordon, Denver running back. He's playing the New York Jets at home. I don't have to say anything else. Number 15, Chase Edmonds, the starting running back for the Arizona Cardinals. He's playing at Jacksonville. This could be the game where they're up so much that they have to run the ball just to burn that clock. Chase Edmonds and James Conner, for that matter, could eat a little bit tomorrow. But number 15, Chase Edmonds. Number 16, Jonathan Taylor. I'm starting to lighten up on him, so to speak. He's got a game against Tennessee tomorrow. He does put his head down and run tough, so much respect. Jonathan Taylor, number 16. Number 17, Chris Carson at Minnesota. For some reason, I think he's going to slide into the end zone for a couple touchdowns tomorrow. So Chris Carson at Minnesota. Number 18, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH. Now, Clyde Edwards, this is almost your Biggie Smalls one more chance game right here, because I think I have you in 5 leagues, 3 of them trading is allowed. I received offers for you. I turned them all down. This is your game. If you do not get it right against the Chargers this weekend, I don't know when you will. And watch Daryl Williams right behind him as he's ready to go. Daryl Williams knows how to play football, and he's chomping at the bit. So if Clyde Edwards doesn't get it right, watch out for Daryl Williams on a move-forward basis. Number 19, James Robinson, playing against Arizona. The game script could be great for him in PPR. We'll see how that game shakes out. Number 20, Myles Gaskin. I like his usage. He has a lot of game. They got beat up really bad by Buffalo last week. They lost Tua. That game was just a disaster. But I like Myles Gaskin. I think he could do some nice things against Vegas this week. Number 21, same game. Kenyon Drake carrying the load for Josh Jacobs versus Miami. I think Kenyon Drake's going to have a nice day. Number 22, Javonta Williams. Again, him and Melvin Gordon playing the New York Jets. I don't need to say anything else. Number 23, my dude, Kareem Hunt versus Chicago. I'd love to move him up to top 10 again, but after last week, I can't. Obviously got the skill, just needs the opportunity. Number 24, a backup running back, Kenneth Gainwell at Dallas Monday night. You know I think Miles Sanders is the second-ranked running back this week. Kenneth Gainwell, I think everyone's going to know who this rookie is, as well as the wide receiver rookie over on Philly, as well as Jalen Hurts. But I think Kenneth Gainwell, as well as Sanders, are going to have nice games on Monday night. And number 25, playing the Detroit Lions, Latavius Murray. I think he's going to do real well as his mate Tyson Williams. Number 26, I think this is a tough matchup for him. David Montgomery, Chicago Bears running back, playing at Cleveland. Number 27, disrespected in the preseason, Devin Singletary. I think he's going to go off against Washington. I could have him ranked a little higher, but I think he's comfortable at 27 right now. Number 28, especially in PPR, move James White up the marker there. If they start using him inside the 10 as just a normal running back, not as a pass catcher almost exclusively, watch out. James White's a real stud. Number 29, Tony Pollard. Some fantasy circles are saying Tony Pollard's better than Ezekiel just because more happens when he's in the game. I bet you'd be a little different if he started and they scripted around him and that kind of stuff. I think Tony Pollard's great. He's just not Zeke. But I think he's going to have a nice game on Monday night at home against Philly under the lights. Number 30, Damien Harris, who is actually the starter in New England. You know I'm a Ramondre Stevenson fan. Damien Harris is good, though. I should start giving him some respect, so I'm going to keep it number 30 this week. Number 31, Nyheim Hines at Tennessee. This could be a really good game script for him, throwing him the ball, especially in PPR. Numbers 32 and 33, two Detroit Lions running backs, Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. If DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams sit, move either of these guys anytime this year, up 10 spots. But they're both really good, but they just have a really tough matchup against what I think is the number one defense this week, and we'll get there, is Baltimore. Numbers 34 and 35, also in a tough matchup. Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones for Tampa Bay, standing back there behind Brady. On the road, here in LA, at the Rams. We will see what happens, but could be a tough game for both running backs there. Number 36, I think this could be a tough game for him. Antonio Gibson. Some people have him as top 10 or top 15. I've got him at 36. I'm not loving his setup right now, going on the road against a hot Buffalo team who got right last week in Miami. Number 37, I'm just going to call this the Los Angeles Rams running backs. If Daryl Henderson plays him, if not Sony Michel, if not Jake Funk, we want playing against Tampa Bay. Not going to be an easy game for any of them, but put the Rams running backs at 37. Numbers 38 and 39 are the San Francisco running backs, Trey Sermon and Jock Patrick. Excuse me. They are playing Green Bay Sunday night. We will see how this shakes out. I can't wait to see Jock Patrick run the ball. He's a big guy. You never know. He could be the man that comes out of nowhere this year in fantasy. And number 40, this is a crazy person to put on any list, Devonta Freeman. I think this game against the Detroit Lions is going to be so one-sided that Devonta Freeman's probably going to do really well in a complete blowout down at Ford Field in Detroit. All right, moving on to the wide receiver top 50. I could have went 60, but let's just go 50 here. Number 1, Mr. Get Right this week, Calvin Ridley at the Giants. Time to eat, Calvin. Time to eat at New York Giants. Number 2, DK Metcalf. Still my pick for the number 1 wide receiver this year. I think he starts getting it right against Minnesota this week on the road. Number 3, that same game, which I think is going to be a big-time, big high-flying game for fantasy purposes, as I mentioned. Justin Jefferson, I have as a number 3 wide receiver this week at home against Seattle. Number 4, Mr. Chalk, Tyreek Hill. Going to be a good game there against the Chargers at home. Number 5, I do like Stephon Diggs' setup. I hope there's no weather up there in Buffalo, but I like number 5 on my list this week, Stephon Diggs, against the Washington football team. Number 6, just because he's the man and he's playing Sunday night, Devonta Adams at San Francisco. Number 7, CeeDee Lamb. Monday night game, let the stars shine, playing against Philly at home. Number 8, Marquis Brown. The Detroit Lions don't have anybody probably in the state of Michigan they could call to cover Marquis Brown tomorrow. So, you know what? Baltimore might sit him if he's a little bit nicked up, but I don't think they will. I'm kidding. Marquis Brown could get loose for 200 yards tomorrow against the Lions. Number 9, A.J. Brown. I really like him set up this weekend versus Indy. I like Julio. We'll get to him, but I like A.J. Brown, number 9. Number 10, apparently he's all good. No injury designation whatsoever headed into Monday night. Amari Cooper. Big lights are on. We'll see what he does. Number 11, my dude, Michael Pittman. Finally came through a little bit last week. Bunch of balls, over 100 yards. Now you need to cross the stripe and hit pay dirt. Number 11 wide receiver, Michael Pittman. Number 12, rookie time, Devonta Smith for Philly at Dallas. I think that Devonta Smith and Hurts are going to do some special things on Monday night, and everyone's going to know who they are after this game. Numbers 13 and 14, funny crew, Rondale Moore and DeAndre Hopkins. Even if Hopkins isn't hurt, I'll still keep Rondale Moore at number 13 and Hopkins at 14. Rondale Moore somehow is getting more usage than any of the wide receivers there, and he's fast. So even if Hopkins isn't hurt, keep Rondale Moore there. And if Hopkins, you can keep him at 14. He's great. He could be number 1, but just put him at 14 just because he's a little bit banged up. Number 15, Mr. Can't Do Anything Wrong this year, Tyler Lockett, far exceeding all expectations, as he pretty much does every start of the year. Number 15, Tyler Lockett at Minnesota. Number 16, same game, Adam Thielen. He's a tough guy. He'll go anywhere on the field to catch a football, and he knows how to catch a football in the end zone. Should be a good up and down game for him and the rest of the team there. Number 17, Keenan Allen. I do not give him enough respect, but I have him and his teammate, Big Mike Williams, at KC at number 17 and 18. This game's going to be great for fantasy purposes. Same game, number 19. He has yet to eat this year, Mecole Hardman. This is very highly ranked for him, but I expect the team to get him more involved tomorrow. Number 20, he's really starting to come on. Tim Patrick is playing the Jets. You know I love his quarterback. I love the setup for everybody in Denver, so I'm going to put Tim Patrick at number 20 wide receiver. Number 21, Julio Jones versus Indy. I think Julio's going to eat tomorrow. Number 22, Odell Beckham Jr. He's back. We'll see how he does against Chicago. Of course, Jarvis Landry's out. I don't know if Odell's going to be 100% and have so much snap share, but he's back, so he's too talented to keep off the list. We'll put him at number 22. Number 23 and 24, for that matter, the two remaining Pittsburgh wide receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool against Cincy. They're going to get theirs tomorrow. Number 25, Scary Terry McLaurin on the road They could be playing catch-up against Buffalo, so Scary Terry could get his. Number 26, Deebo Samuel, playing Green Bay on Sunday night. He's had a big year so far. He could continue to shine. He should continue to shine. Number 27, Cortland Sutton, the other Denver remaining wide receiver. Could have a nice game against the Jets. Number 28, Allen Robinson. He's playing at Cleveland. So we'll see what that looks like. Number 29 and 30, my guy Cooper Kupp and his teammate Robert Woods. Again, I think this is going to be a tough game at home for the Rams against Tampa Bay. So I actually have Cooper Kupp at 29, Robert Woods at 30, and then two names you probably thought you should have heard 20 picks ago, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans at 31 and 32 in that same game. I love both of these teams in real life. I love they're unbelievably talented on both sides of the ball. I just don't know if this is going to be a great fantasy game for Tampa Bay or the Rams. So 29, 30, 31, and 32 are the top four wide receivers from those two teams. Numbers 33 and 34, teammates again. You see a theme here. Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd at Pittsburgh. T. Higgins beat up, so they should get a lot of action tomorrow. Numbers 35, 36, and 37, triplets again for Jacksonville. Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, and DJ Shark. Put them in any order. I have no clue who's going to score tomorrow, but one of them's going to, maybe two of them. Number 38, tough game on the road, Corey Davis. He's been showing out this year, but this could be a tough one for the Jets tomorrow. Number 39, my dude Henry Ruggs. I told you he was going to get behind Pittsburgh last week. He got behind Pittsburgh last week for a big one. Henry Ruggs could do the same against Miami this weekend at home. Number 40, A.J. Green. He scored last weekend. I expect him to score again this weekend, as well as his teammate at 41, Christian Kirk. They should have a nice day tomorrow, both of them against Jacksonville. Unless the game's a blowout and they just have to run it for the second half, but we'll see. Numbers 42 and 43, he's back on the list, Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what he's going to do tomorrow night, but it is Sunday night. He's probably, thinking the whole country's watching, so Brandon Ayuk could crack out of his shell tomorrow night. Devonta Parker and Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle, the three Miami teammates, 43, 44, and 45. I don't know. They're going to go into Miami's going into Las Vegas tomorrow. Hot team. We will see what happens without Tua, but keep those guys all bunched together until somebody breaks out. Number 46, Sterling Shepard. Excuse me. Number 46, Sterling Shepard versus Atlanta. Giants, get-right game, no defense. Sterling Shepard's been showing out this year. He should continue tomorrow against Atlanta. Number 47, Jacoby Myers versus New Orleans. Probably going to be a grinded-out game, but Jacoby Myers could cross the stripe tomorrow for New England. Number 48, sleeper, Donovan Peoples-Jones versus Chicago. Jarvis Landry's on the IR. Odell's making his way back. They got to throw the ball to some wide receiver. It's either DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or Rashard Higgins, but I like DPJ a little bit more, so I'll keep it number 48. Number 49, Mr. Touchdown every week. Feel like he's going to get one tomorrow. Zach Pascal for Tennessee. He's been playing, so get Zach Pascal out there if you need to. And number 50, the Enigma, Cordero Patterson. I'm going to put him on the wide receiver list this week rather than the running back list. But I'm going to put him at number 50 on the road in the get-right game against the Giants. The fantasy get-right game. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the Giants are going to win that game at home. Okay, moving on. Top 20 tight ends, and it was kind of hard coming up with this list, actually, this week. Number 1, Mark Andrews at Detroit. You know I love his quarterback. You know I love his running backs. You know I love his wide receiver colleague, Hollywood Brown. So I've got Mark Andrews at number 1 on the tight end list this week. Again, against Detroit, don't be surprised if Mark Andrews has 2 touchdowns in the first half or first quarter, for that matter, because they literally don't have anybody that can cover him. Number 2, my dude, University of Arizona, Big Rob Gronkowski. Gronk, at the Rams. Now, I don't like anybody in this game, really, other than the tight ends. Don't ask, but I like Gronk, and I like Jared Cook. We'll talk about him, but big Gronk, number 2. If anyone's catching a touchdown tomorrow, it's Gronkowski. Him and Brady just have so much history. Brady knows who his guy is and where he's going to be on the field tomorrow. Watch out for big Gronk. Could get another 2 this weekend. Number 3 and 4 and 5, chalk, chalk, chalk. Travis Kelce versus the Chargers. Darren Waller versus Miami. And George Kittle versus Green Bay, of course, on Sunday night. Those are all home games. Those are all unbelievable tight ends, and they all should do well tomorrow. Number 6, my pick yet to prove me right as the best tight end of the year, Kyle Pitts. I think this is the week Kyle Pitts earns his keep against the Giants. Number 7, Noah Fant. Again, he's playing the New York Jets. Number 8, Robert Tonyan. I like him tomorrow night. Rodgers loves him, obviously. Let the stars shine. Robert Tonyan, Sunday night. Number 9, Monday night, Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert should have a good game against Dallas on Monday night when the lights come on. Number 10, the other tight end from the Tampa Bay Rams showdown, Jared Cook. Again, I don't like the skill position players, but I like both tight ends in this game. Number 11, he's on this list because he has to be because he's too talented, TJ Hawkinson. I don't think the Lions are going to score tomorrow, personally. But TJ Hawkinson's a great player, so I can't keep him off this list, obviously. Lions in Detroit versus Baltimore. Number 12, Logan Thomas at Buffalo. I think it might be a tough game for them, but they're going to have to get the ball up and down the field, and I think they're going to utilize Logan Thomas a lot for Washington. Number 13, Gerald Everett at Minnesota tomorrow for Seattle. I just love his team, and I just love his quarterback, and I like his skill set, so I like Gerald Everett at 13. Number 14, could be a top waiver wire pickup if he does something this week. I like him, Mike Gesicki, on the road against Vegas. I think he could be a safety valve outlet for the quarterback for Miami. Numbers 15 and 16, 2 teammates, David Njoku and Austin Hooper. Of course, at home versus Chicago. We're going to see Odell's back. Much past that, it's Donovan Peoples-Jones and Rashard Higgins. Of course, they've got Kareem Hunt, who can play wide receiver if they really have to press it. But I like both of these tight ends, David Njoku and Austin Hooper, as the 15th and 16th tight ends on the weekend at home versus Chicago. Number 17, sleeper for the weekend, Dawson Knox. He likes to catch touchdowns, so I like to have him on this list. At home versus the Washington football team. Number 18, Blake Jarwin versus Philly on Monday night. I think he's going to score a touchdown. Number 19, my dude, Juwan Johnson up in New England. It's going to be a rough game, but he's a big target, and if they're ever in the red zone and they don't hand it to Kamara, the ball's going to Juwan Johnson, so look for him to maybe catch one tomorrow. And then number 20, I just like him too much. Obviously, in Dynasty, I'm in love with him, Pat Freiermuth. But I'll keep Big Pat ahead of Eric Ebron this week, just because I think he's a better player. All right. Defense, top 15 this week. I can only do top 10 because I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in the NFL. And I think these are the top 10 defenses that you can actually play. I think the remaining defenses just flip a coin, to be honest with you. So we're going to go number 1, Baltimore at Detroit. This game could get real ugly real quick. Number 1 defense, Baltimore Ravens at Detroit tomorrow. Number 2, Denver Broncos at home, Mile High against the Jets. Boy, oh boy. Number 3, New England at home versus New Orleans. If anybody can scheme, it's Belichick. If anybody needs to scheme, it's Belichick. I think New England's going to have a nice defensive day against New Orleans tomorrow. And Jameis Winston, we all know he likes to throw interceptions. So tomorrow, Belichick knows that too. Number 4 and 5 defense. I wish I didn't have to say this. Tampa Bay and the Rams playing each other here in LA. Next weekend, all these players are going to move up on the list, but I just do not see this being a high-scoring game. But I like both defenses just to grind it out. Number 6, I like Arizona at Jacksonville. I like the Cardinals a lot this weekend there. Their defense, they did nothing last week, but they could step in front of a ball or two this week. Number 7, Cleveland versus Chicago. I could have actually moved Cleveland up on this list. Now, I like Justin Fields. Excuse me. But he is a rookie, and this is the NFL. Ask Peyton Manning. So I'm going to play Cleveland, number 7 defense versus Chicago. Pittsburgh versus Cincy. I feel like they're going to get a pick 6 tomorrow, and that's good for 8 points or whatever, at least in your league. Number 9 defense. I don't know what's going to be going on with their quarterback. I doubt they're going to get shut out 2 weeks in a row, but if they do, it would be against a team as hot as the Las Vegas Raiders right now. So the number 9 defense is Las Vegas at home versus Miami. And then the number 10 defense I have is the Buffalo Bills at home versus the Washington football team. I like their setup for tomorrow, so of course I like their defense. Now when it comes to kickers, honest to goodness, pick a kicker. Whatever your website says is the highest ranked kicker, play them. Because these kickers, again, are so week to week, and you just don't know what's going to happen, that I can't even give you any guidance. Just play the top kickers that your website recommends. All right, everybody. That is my Week 3 Stardom Situm Fantasy Funday podcast. Really looking forward to football tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it as well. Please stay safe. Enjoy your football, and have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you for watching the Fantasy Funday podcast. I appreciate you.